Hey guys, Peter Sundbeck here again with another strategy session. Now, here we have what I call an opportunity. Here, as you can see, there's water there, and then you've got all these buildings, dilapidated buildings, basically, that are just totally unused, right? So no one's living in them. It's a huge space, and there's more than this one here. There's a lot more, right? But it's a whole area. Now, an ordinary person just sees all buildings, but as an investor, you could look at an opportunity where you find out who owns this land, who owns the buildings, and of course these have been dilapidated for years. So much like, and you might have heard this story, many years ago, the President of the United States now, Donald Trump, he actually went to the New York Council and he put an option on what was then called the Old Commodore Hotel, which was a kind of a rundown hotel that was going broke. And he built an amazing new structure there called the Hyatt Hotel, and he didn't put any of his own money in, and he made like $30 million on that one deal. Well, this is what we're talking about here. Find out who owns it, right? Maybe, the owners would be open to somebody putting down an option to find out what you could develop here. Then you joint venture with a big developer or a builder who will then get the development approval, see what you can build here, apartments, units, townhouses, maybe a mixed-use kind of project. And then when it's all put together, right, you get a percentage of the finished project. Long-term project, big rewards, but very little risk if you approach it the right way. And the right way, of course, is to get an option on the land and the buildings and see, first of all, what can be built here. And if you change the use of this, and obviously it wouldn't be hard. I mean, look at this place. There's weeds growing in the gutters there, so it's obviously not something that's being used. And that's the kind of opportunities that the developers and the smart operators look for. And like I said, Donald Trump back in New York, he became a billionaire through projects exactly like this. He looked for valuable land, near the waterfronts always, in a good position, or opposite the parks, the New York Central Park. It's the same strategy here in Sydney. There's valuable real estate here because the water is just over the back of this building. There's the Sydney Harbour. Right, so it's not the main harbour, but it's one of the offshoots, right? So look for opportunities that are out there. If you see a house in your neighbourhood that's got a lawn that's kind of, up to your waist, you can see that it's unkempt. There's stuff in the letterbox. No one's lived there for months maybe, or even years. Then find out who owns it, make an offer, and you never know. That could be your next project that'll set you up for life. So this is what I'm talking about. Here's a house, and you can see it's so dilapidated. They've had to put a fence around it so people actually don't walk in there and something doesn't fall on their head. But you see houses like this in the suburbs, right? It's prime for redevelopment. Obviously, it's neglected. Nothing's being done with the site. So find out who owns it, and you might be able to get an option on it because obviously the owners are not interested in the property because it's been like that for years. So that's what you look for when you're looking for investment opportunities.